All right, great Wednesday morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. It's Cesar Mascoro Jr. with Manufactured Home Sales Mastery in with our 15 minutes to mastery that we do each and every day to get your day started off on the right foot with some information, inspiration, motivation so that you can go off and attack today. Welcome to episode number 467 of our 15 minutes to mastery segment. Today, we're getting into the topic of how to serve the high end buyer, how to go and help the site built customer that has not considered buying a manufactured home yet. What is it that it's going to take from you to be able to make that happen? We're going to get into that. But as we do each and every day, we get started with a quote for the day. And today's quote comes from Claire Muscat, which says, building a good customer experience does not happen by accident, it happens by design. I love that. It doesn't happen by accident, it happens by design. You actually have to plan these things out. You actually have to plan being able to take care of that high end buyer or take care of the site built customer that has never truly considered buying a manufactured home until now, right? Because of the need. So check this out. There's a ever since I got in the business. Okay, when I got into the business in 2009, which I know is nothing compared to a lot of you out there. A lot of you have been doing this a lot longer. Um, when I got into the business, we the common thing I heard across the board was, you know, trailer people are trailer people. You can have what I this will always stick with me. Okay, my first boss, I remember him saying something to the point of you could have somebody win the lotto, win hundreds of millions of dollars, that lives out in the country, that has lived in a manufactured home their whole life, that will not build a home on their property, that they'll just come and buy a brand new double wide, triple wide, whatever it is, because that's what they're used to, right? And so we've always had that common thought of we serve trailer people, and it makes sense that the industry would stay stagnant at that 8 to 10% market share over the last 10 to 20 years. Okay, because we've always just thought of this is our customer base, and you'll hear in business it it being described that way, no matter what the business is, right? Every model has its buyer. Now, that I completely agree with, right? However, I will tell you this right now, with the way things are out in the economy, with the way things are with housing pricing, with the way things are on rates, okay, right now is the perfect opportunity. I keep telling you, I keep describing it to you this way, that the stars have lined up right now for anyone out there right now, both in retail and the community space, to be able to level up their customer base. In other words, to grab a different market share beyond the standard 8 to 10%. But in order to do that, there's going to have to be some changes that are made in order to accomplish that, right? Whether you're in Florida, Arizona, Oregon, I don't care, whatever part of the country, or here in Tyler, Texas, where I'm at over here at Mobile Home Masters, it's going to take a different type of experience. You keep hearing me talk about that buying experience, the customer experience. And so you have to get away from that train of thought that we only serve a certain client base. That may have been true up until even a year ago, 2 years ago, but now more than ever, we are truly an option. You are truly an option for a broader customer base. Okay. I highly encourage each and every one of you to go out and get yourself a copy of the book. And I'm going to put it in the comments here. It's called Blue Ocean Strategy. And I suggest you go out and buy this book, read it, okay, and understand what we're talking about when we say there is a different market out there. You can go out and get this. And high performers in the industry, those people that you see selling the 200, 250, $300,000 house, manufactured home. Okay. There's a couple of things that they have in common that allows them to do that consistently. I'm not talking about the person who sells one in a year, hadn't just wound up selling one here and there. I'm talking about those people that consistently sell that product. There's some patterns, some similarities between these folks, and it starts with thinking differently. It starts with operating differently. It has a lot to do with the fact that they don't limit themselves to their customer, to a certain customer base. Okay. I talk to housing consultants all the time who when we're speaking about the market, when we're speaking about who they serve, you'll get that one or two consultants that will always say, we're an affordable housing. People are looking for the lowest price. Well, of course, you're always going to have that. You're always going to have people looking for the lowest price. And that's where we talk about that race to the bottom, right? Everybody's racing to give the lowest price. How cheap can I sell this house? What's the lowest price I can sell this home for? Rather than approaching yourself and your business in that manner, what you should be doing is looking for that customer that's out there who is not in that boat. In other words, yesterday shared with you guys or last week actually, shared with you the information about the Newsweek article, which was talking about mortgages, people buying homes, 36 million people looking for homes in 2025. Only 5 million are going to buy. But the majority of those people are looking for homes $250,000 or less, when the average sales price of a home in the United States is $420,000. Okay. So what I'm telling you is this: when you have people that are looking for $250,000, they're not going to be nickel and diming you to get a $100,000 house. You see, they want to have the nicer options. They want to have the what they would consider luxury options, right? They want to have the upgraded kitchen with the upgraded countertops, and they want to have the upflow vents. They want to have the full drywall, tape and textured all throughout. They want to have the nicer finishes. They want the upgraded cabinets. They want everything that's going to make them feel good about their purchase. Plus, they don't want to look cheap to their friends, to their family. And they would consider your $250,000, even $300,000 home a bargain compared to $420,000, $500,000. Yesterday, I was doing a training call with a group out of Arizona, and we were discussing this, and somebody jumps out and says, I wish the houses around here were $420,000. You can't get anything for less than $500,000 here, as far as site-built homes are concerned. And so when you have product, high-end product that's 150, 180, 200, 225, 250, there is a market for that. That high-end buyer, that site-built buyer that's out there. Okay. Now, take this in consideration. Okay. You hear me say high-end buyer, and then you hear me say site-built buyer. Most of the people that can't afford a home can't afford an entry-level site-built home. And you can't get that buyer confused with an entry-level manufactured home buyer, whether it's a True or Prime from Champion, right? That person who can't afford the $420,000, $450,000, $500,000 a year is not somebody that when they show up to your location, you're going to be showing the True to. No offense to True, great product. It serves its purpose, but that's not what they're there for. You want to start with the mid-level and work your way up into your high end in the manufactured range, because that is what they're accustomed to over here. Whether they're renting a house or renting an apartment, living in a townhome, that higher end product that you have is going to match closer to what they're used to living in. And that goes back to what we've been talking about over the last few weeks of being able to help them connect mentally, emotionally to the product. So when they can walk into a home that feels familiar to them, that helps them let their guard down, lets them accept the fact that this is a viable option to them. But then it goes beyond that. It's what you do, how you do it, what you say, how you say it, how you carry yourself, how you look. Those things matter. And that's what it's going to take for you to be able to serve the high-end buyer. But you've got to look, that 8 to 10% market. We were doing a training here yesterday on this stuff. We were talking about trying to bring in some of the site built market into this location. And I told them, just because we focus on that does not mean we're not going to get our normal client base that comes in here. You're always going to have that, because that's what those people understand, that the traditional manufactured home buyer understands that this is where they would come to get their home. So you're always going to have that. What we're talking about is focusing on that new market, on that new potential buyer, that site-built buyer who can no longer afford a home. And in order to serve them, we have to think differently. We have to act differently. So what is it going to take for you to be able to get this done? Okay, first and foremost, look, you've got to believe. You've got to change your belief of who you serve. You can't just be thinking that what you're here to do is help the buyer that's trying to find something cheap. All right, cheap and affordable, two different things, and it's relative. Okay, because affordable to an entry-level manufactured home buyer is different than affordable to an entry-level site-built home buyer. You have to keep that in mind. So your belief on who you serve has to change, first of all. You've got to start focusing in on that site-built buyer. You have to put focus and energy into that. Just like Tony Robbins says, where focus goes, energy flows. If you really start to say, I am going to get this buyer, you will start focusing in. Your energy will go towards that. You'll be making the adjustments and the changes that are needed in order to be able to do that. Okay, so what are some of those changes? The belief, first of all, your level of professionalism, the way you speak to handle and carry out your sales process with that buyer has to be different than what you're accustomed to. It has to be. You've got to be able to be a chameleon and be one way with another and this way with these. It's just a matter of fact. Okay, it's a matter of fact, and if you aren't willing to or can't do that, you're going to struggle. You're not going to be able to consistently bring in and handle that buyer unless you're willing and able to adapt. Right? From there, your appearance needs to change. Okay, look, shirt, tie, button-down shirt, no tie, right? But coat, slacks. I got a suit on today. One, because it's cold. Two, because I want to make sure that we're coming across in the right manner, right? But just because I dress this way, and I've done this for years, whether I was a Titan or whether I was a manufactured housing consultant, the independent retailer that I was at when I first started in the industry, this is how I dressed for the office. Okay. And if I had a very humble family that came in, look, you got to remember this. Look, I'm a first generation American. My parents are from Mexico. I was raised very, very poor. Okay. Lived in a very poor neighborhood. I understand that and I can relate to that. So I can still look this way. Maybe I take off the coat. I don't know, but I can still be here and help that buyer and not make them feel awkward, uncomfortable. Because I get that a lot from housing consultants. Well, if I dress in a suit and all this stuff, they're going to be uncomfortable. They're going to feel awkward because I'm overdressed, and they're going to feel. No, they're not. You know what they're going to feel? They're going to feel that you're a professional. They're going to feel that you're truly a consultant. They're going to feel that you know what you're doing. And that's what you should want them to feel. So your appearance has to change. Your level of knowledge needs to change. Your level of knowledge, your competence, your understanding of the product, the construction, the warranties, the financing, everything that has to do with the construction, everything has to do with deliveries and sets, being the consummate professional is so important, because when you increase your level of knowledge, your level of work ethic, your level of performance, everything changes, everything rises, everything improves, and you're able to serve that buyer because that's what they're used to. And lastly, your demeanor. Carry yourself like a professional. You can't just dress the part and then act like an idiot. I don't, excuse my language, part of my expression there, but it's the truth. Your level of professionalism. Carry yourself like a pro, right? And they tell you dress for the job you want. Well, you also have to represent in that manner. Nobody said you can't cut up. Nobody, look, man, I like to have a good time. I want the office feeling fun and energetic and vibrant. But when I'm with a buyer, it's showtime. When I'm with the buyer, it's helping them understand a few different things. Why I'm the person they should be doing business with, why my company is the best option to be able to provide them the home, and why my homes are what they should be considering. And the only way that I'm going to be able to influence that is by carrying myself like a professional. Sometimes you get it confused, thinking, well, I gotta be able to connect. And also, man, look, you're not here to buddy up. You're here to build rapport. You're here to build trust, build loyalty. But they're not here to find a buddy. They're here to buy a home. They're here to put themselves in a situation where a lot of them feel stressed about being in that situation, taking on a mortgage, providing for their family. So they need somebody who's going to take them across the finish line, that can make things happen, that handles their business in a manner that they feel confident in you. So level up your belief of who you serve, level up your level of your professionalism, level up your appearance, your knowledge, and your demeanor, the way you carry yourself. You do those things, and you're going to be able to serve that high-end buyer, that site-built buyer, in a very, very suitable manner. It'll be a consistent part of your business, and it's going to be something that's going to help us transform this industry, and you will be a part of it. But we have to level up. Guys, have a great Wednesday. Go out there, do some fantastic things, man. Let's start making those changes. Let's start, and look, it goes against everything that you may be used to up until now. But times are different. And right now is the time to make the change. And you guys can do it. And we're here to help you do it at Manufactured Home Sales Mastery. We're here to help take your life, your business, your career to a whole new level. You know that. That's what we do. And that's what we're here about. So anyway, have a great Wednesday. Go out and do some fantastic things today. And if there's a way we can help you, reach out to us any way you can. Have a great day. We'll be talking soon. Until next time, my friends. We'll be back in here tomorrow with another 15 minutes of mastery. As always, can't wait to meet you.